Imagine you go to your doctor and they sit down and they talk to you. They don't type on the computer. They don't look at the monitor. They just look at you and they continue the conversation and then just leave surprise. How the heck the doctor was able to sit down and talk to me and did not type? Well, this future is not that far away. Technology has advanced, and in today's world, due to AI, we have AI scribe tools that help physicians document their encounter with patients in real time. And today we're going to talk about Abridge. Hello everyone, my name is Roupen. I'm a hematology-oncology physician and I'm very interested in healthcare innovation. And last week we talked about Nabla, which is an AI tool that helps to document physician-patient encounter in real time. It's an AI scribe. If you haven't seen it, you can check it out here. And today we're going to talk about Abridge. Abridge is another AI scribe tool that helps physicians document their encounter with their patient in real time. Without further ado, let's go to their website. On their website, nice, elegant, and straightforward. I want to care for patients, not paperwork. A great marketing. So from the first page, you see one-liner, and they tell you what problem they are solving. That's great. That's very smart. And generative AI in healthcare. Okay, so then we scroll down. They are talking about their partnership, and they are considered one of the companies. Here I open the link. They are considered one of the companies that's integrated with Epic, bringing generative AI to providers and patients. They are Epic first pal. Okay, so you can read this article, how they partner with Epic. Actually, that's how I got introduced to them. I read an article talking about how they were integrated into Epic. And that's how I was introduced to Abridge, and the only generative AI that you can trust. So that's what they are saying on their website. This is how the user interface looks like, which we're going to dive in a second. Okay, let's scroll down. They have an interesting thing I haven't seen in other companies. So you, as a clinician, we need documentation. Practices, they need tools to improve their systems, because it's obvious by now that if you have better systems, you have better physician retention. If you don't have good physician retention, you're going to pay tons of money, on average $30,000 to recruit a physician. Okay, so here, but they have tools for patients, and that I love. Okay, so now they are empowering patients, actually. Patients can record notes and take notes. And if we scroll down, look at this, like they have an interesting interface where patients can record their conversation with the physician, and they have like a summary of that, which I think it's a brilliant idea, because one of the things I struggle with as a physician when I give instructions to my patients is like, how I want to make sure that they comprehend and keep everything. So I have to sometimes to print written instructions, right? So Abridge actually empower patients, and this is very nice. Why physicians should only document? I think documentation should also be done by patients. Eventually, documents or notes, patient notes, are patient's book that we write chapters in. That's how I look at it. So I think this is a brilliant tool. Like they also empowered patients. Okay, so let's go back. And Epic EMR integration, we talked about this. And that's their website. They have also an app you can download on your phone. So it's not a browser that you open on your phone. No, you can download the app on your phone. Okay, and that's it. That's how their website looks like. So now let's go and do a real life. This is the case that I will give the standardized patient, mainly a patient with COPD exacerbation, that they had COPD, and the reason of the COPD exacerbation that they forgot the medication. These are the symptoms that I will ask my patient to say. You can pause the video and you can read them, and make sure that Abridge also like creates similar note. Side conversation, I will have a side conversation with the patients where we're going to talk about their hobbies, gardening, and it's something that I would say I like as well. So most of us have side conversation when seeing the patients, and let's see if Abridge can identify the side conversation and remove it from or not mention it in the notes. Okay, so now let's go to the recording settings.
So for the purpose of this video, we will use a phone. As you can see, like I have the iPhone 13, I will show you in a bit. and we will use 2 chairs. Okay, so the physician will sit here, and so we have a distance between the phone and the physician, and the patient will sit here. So we have around both distances are around 50 centimeters from the physician or from patient to the phone. Alright, so as you can see, this is the user interface on the app, so you can record using the app. And for my Canadian colleagues, you can't find the app on the Canadian Apple Store, so I had to create an American or US Apple accounts, and then go to the American or the US Apple App Store and download the app. So that's how you can use it. As you can see, you can name the note that and then here you can just start recording, and you can start recording and finish later, and you can hit on create note, but now it's a gray. And this is the user interface in general. So hopefully once we start with our standardized patients, we click on the hit record. Once we finish, the note will be in our browser. So we will start with the standardized patients. If you want to skip this segment, feel free. You can go ahead to the next segment if you don't want to listen to the clinical case, but we will record this in real time, and we will start with our standardized patient right now in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. All right. Hi, Mr. Jody. My name is Dr. Odabashian. I'm one of the physicians. I'm working in the emergency department, and I was told you are here because of cough. Is that right?
Yes, I've been coughing much more.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. And you said much more. Can you explain a bit more?
Yes, well, I always have a cough, especially in the morning. But my cough is more frequent now, and I have some mucus.
Oh, okay. So you mentioned that you have cough in the morning and you have some mucus. What is your baseline like? How many times? It sounds like you had cough in the past. So did you smoke in the past, or do you smoke currently?
I did smoke for 30 years, but I've quit 10 years ago.
Okay. And when is at baseline, when do you usually have the cough?
It's mostly in the morning.
And what changed now?
Now it's kind of all day, more frequent, all the time.
Okay. And you mentioned that it's also productive, are you producing phlegm or sputum?
Yes.
Okay. And what color is it?
It's a yellowish
Okay.
color.
Okay. Any blood in it?
No.
Okay. So you mentioned that this cough got worse, and have you been experiencing any shortness of breath?
Yes, I'm very out of breath.
Okay. And how much this shortness of breath affected you?
Oh, I can barely do my hobbies. I can't garden or watch my birds anymore. I'm just out of breath with any slight movement I do.
Okay. And you mentioned your hobbies, and gardening. Can you tell me a bit more about it? What type of gardening, and what do you like about gardening?
Well, I love being outside, and especially bird watching as I garden. And I have a new cardinal that came to the garden.
Oh, that's very sweet. And you spend most of the day gardening, or is it something you do on occasional basis?
Yes, well, a few hours since I've been retired.
Okay. And is this something that you started recently, or you've been doing it for many years?
For a few years now, since my retirement.
Okay, that's sweet. Yeah, we do have a garden as well, but unfortunately, I don't have time to take care of the garden. Usually my wife does that.
Yes, it takes time.
Yes, I agree. And so it sounds to me that you've been coughing and you've been producing some phlegm, and you have a history of smoking. Have you ever been told, or have you ever been diagnosed with what we call COPD, or obstructive lung disease?
Yes, I have been told I have COPD.
Okay. And what medications do you take?
Well, I take a puffer,
what kind of puffer? Like, do you know?
I think it's a blue color.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a steroid.
Okay, okay. I would try to check with your pharmacy if you haven't brought your medications with you. Do you have your medications with you by any chance?
No, I forgot that. I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries. Other than the cough and the shortness of breath, have you been experiencing any chest pain?
No.
Okay. Any changes in your bowel habits?
No.
Any changes in your urinary habits?
No.
Okay. Any swelling in the legs by any chance?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Have you ever been diagnosed with heart failure or heart disease?
No.
Okay. Okay. I want to ask about any other medical condition other than COPD. Have you been diagnosed with any other medical condition?
No, that's the only thing.
Okay. Other than the puffers, do you take any medications?
No.
Okay. Okay. And do you have any allergies?
No.
Okay. When was the last time you had COPD exacerbation?
Maybe about 2 years ago.
Okay. Okay. I'm just going to examine you now. If that's okay with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm looking here at your vital signs, like the nurse obtained your vital signs, and it looks like you were initially hypoxic, and your oxygen saturation was 89%. I'm happy that they put you on this oxygen.
Yes, it's been helping.
Okay, and it looks like your blood pressure was 140/86 when you initially came, and you've been breathing like rapidly. Your respiratory rate is 18.
Yes, I've been feeling quite out of breath, like I said.
Okay, I want to listen to your lungs if that's okay with you.
Yes, please.
Okay, and it sounds to me that you are wheezing. It sounds like there are audible wheezes on both sides of the lung. I want to listen to your heart as well, so breathe normally. Your heart sounds normal. I want to feel your stomach, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it feels normal as well. Okay, okay. Ms. Judy, it sounds to me what's going on, it's an exacerbation of your underlying COPD, and you had that in the past. So I was going to order some blood work. I'm going to order what we call complete blood count. I'm going to look at your blood and your white blood cell count, and I'm just going to order a chest x-ray just to make sure there is no infection or inflammation in your lungs, if that's okay.
Okay.
Okay. And also, I was thinking might start you on antibiotics since you have cough and shortness of breath and increase of phlegm. So this can help as well.
Okay.
And in the meanwhile, we will put you on medications that help to dilate your airways, which are bronchodilators. You are familiar with that. And also, we are going to we start you on oral corticosteroids or steroids. Okay. And
Okay.
I will review also how you take your puffers. So once the nurse will bring the puffer, I want you to show me how you take your puffer. And I want to make sure that you are following the right technique.
Okay, sure. That could be a good review.
Okay. And after this, hopefully you get better. And once you leave the emergency department, I want you to follow up with your family doctor and make sure that he sees you and your symptoms are under control.
Okay, I'll make sure.
Okay. Okay. And one more thing that I know, hobbies are very important. It's also important for your physical well-being and your mental health, but it's important to create a system to keep track of taking medications and not forget taking medications, because I assume the most likely cause of this worsening shortness of breath and the COPD is you forgot taking the medications.
That could be. I might forget sometimes.
Okay. Also, I will ask the nurse to bring you some brochures about COPD exacerbation and how to prevent it, okay?
Oh, thank you. Yes, that would be great.
Okay. And one last thing, I just want to make sure that you follow up with your family doctor to make sure that your vaccines, the flu, and the COVID, everything's up to date.
Okay, I'll check on that.
Okay. All right. The nurse will come with the puffers. She will be back shortly.
Thank you.
Look at the accuracy of the note. If you go back to the script that I gave to my standardized patient and you look here, it's very accurate. And I like how the history of presenting illness was comprehensive. And then the other past medical history, medication, social history, and other parts were in bullet point, just like I asked Abridge in the beginning. But the cool thing about this tool, if you say, okay, so she said she has a 30-year smoking history. When was that mentioned? So you just highlight that, and here on your right, as you can see, it will show you where it came from. Okay, so it came from your conversation this minute. And then let's say you want to highlight this, and then it's find the evidence, and it shows you like, okay, so this was created from this transcript. And this is important first because sometimes, oh, like I can't remember that I discussed this thing, so you can just immediately go to your transcript. So this is the data that being transformed to other form of content, which is like here, it's like medical note. And they are using this data as a backbone. And then you can copy each section, or you can copy the entire note. And as I said, you can change their pronouns, maybe she, her. So now, okay, so you can change the pronouns, as I said. And then if we go to assess the accuracy, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease or COPD exacerbation, it showed some sort of assessment, which is cool. I don't know if I give it if I give it a more complex case, it will write more complex assessments. And then there are the same things I discussed with my patient. I told him I'm going to do X-ray and CBC. I will start antibiotics, and please ignore the Grammarly. I have Grammarly also in my browser, so please ignore that. And then review inhaler technique, advise patient to follow up with her primary care physician, ensure patient vaccination up to date. Everything I discussed with the patient was documented here. Everything. So this is really cool. I would say accuracy, again, 10 out of 10. I don't have any problems with the accuracy. And as you can see, like I have also Grammarly on top, so it doesn't detect major grammar errors. Everything is nice. There are some minor things like the and comma and other things. But I think the other cool thing that I really like about this tool is the patient visit summary. This is amazing. How many times you ask yourself in the clinic when you are explaining something to your patient, are they going to remember what I said? Sometimes you feel like, well, like I need to give them something written, so you go and type things and that will take you time. But now, every single patient you discuss with them treatment and plan, there will be a visit summary and you can print it. This is sweet. I love it. And for me, I have a great memory, but like I can't remember things that I discussed, like I said to myself like 2 minutes ago. And so I can't imagine how the patient will be able to understand the treatment plan that we give to the patient. And if you look at the like 65-year-old, like literally, it's going to be hard for her to remember all this. But Abridge generates a patient summary, which I find really, really cool. So that's another cool feature I really like in Abridge. So accuracy, I would say 10 out of 10. And I would also give them kudos because they provide patients with summaries, and they also give you the transcript and the evidence where you said every part of your notes, and also you can again listen to yourself here. Now let's start by user interface. User interface for me is very important because literally if electronic medical records companies are listening to this, I hate you guys. Like there are 10,000 clicks, and half of the things I don't know what to do with them. So here it's a really nice user interface in Abridge. We have 3 parts. The first part, it's the consultations that you did. So as in the previous segment, we named it cough. So the note is here, and we recorded it on the phone. So the when you access Abridge through your browser, it didn't give me the ability to record in my browser, so I had to download the app. And again, for my Canadian colleagues, you have to create an American Apple account, so you'll be able to access the American Apple Store. You can download it to your phone, and then you can log in back to your Canadian Apple account. And then here in the middle, we have the note that was generated. So I need to copy them. And here also you can choose the pronouns. So I'm going to copy this and put it in my electronic medical record. And on the third part, I have the transcript that I discussed with the patient. We're going to talk about accuracy in a second, but now we're talking about user interface. On the bottom, we have the recording. So I can play the recording. I can hear myself talk to the patient.
Okay. And when is at baseline?
So as you can see, this is the recording with the patient, and then also here we have to review. You can so this is note that needs to be reviewed. So then in the user interface, we're still talking about user interface. We have another tab which is patient visit summary. This is really cool. We're going to talk about that in a second. And this is a transcript. So I haven't paid yet, so I'm still on the free version, so they're asking me to add payment method. And also in the user interface, you can go to the settings. Okay, so you can go to the settings, and this is something nice where you can choose how would you like the note to be presented. Okay, so you have a concise or comprehensive history of present illness and your assessment of and the plan. Do you like it bulleted or do you like it paragraph? For me, I like it bulleted. And then you can choose the sections of the note. So all these are part of the user interface, and it's easy. It's not complex. I find it intuitive, and it took me 5 minutes maybe to get myself familiar with the user interface, and things were easy.
This is the phone user interface. As you can see, it's simple, straightforward. All you need to do is click on the plus sign, and then you will have the ability to start recording a consult. Okay, so for example, if you start recording, you can either pause it, or you can create a note, or you can even like put it on the side and finish it later. Okay, so you can just click here, and then you can go back, and then once you finish the consult, you can hit on create note. The nice thing about the user interface is like if you turn off your phone, it still runs in the background, so that's really nice thing. And also you can exit Abridge, or not exit Abridge, keep running Abridge in the background, and then you can open other apps. For example, like I was doing what we call like ICANS and ICE score, where like I can put Abridge in the background, and I can use other apps, and Abridge is going to still continue taking notes. That was really something nice. And then at the end of the day, you're going to have your work list, the patients, or like, so I named this different things just for the purpose of this video. If you click on it, you're not going to see any example or any notes. And it tells you like if you want the notes, you have to go to your browser, and you go to notes.abridge.com, and you have to log in. You can always like change the name, change everything about the encounter, but the encounter itself, you can access it through a browser, not the phone app. So the phone app or the mobile app helps you to record, but to access the note, you need to do that through a browser. And you can also set your settings. You can you can set the settings through the browser on how do you like your notes, what are the paragraphs, is it a bullet type, is it a paragraph type, and that's it. So the user interface on the phone part is very intuitive, easy, straightforward.
This is their privacy statement from their website. Important things to highlight here, that you can control your data. They don't sell your data, which is very important. And it's HIPAA compliant. They tell you what are the things that they collect from your conversation. And this is something also I want to bring up here, since we're talking about privacy. It's very important also for physicians to ask for consent before using Abridge, because the laws differ between states and between Canada and the states as well. So the other party should know that they are being recorded, but this recording will be used to generate a note. And then you can even they are saying that they may or may not collect location, may or may not collect contacts, because Abridge, it's a patient tool as well, and if you're a patient, you are using this, it will give you the ability to share your notes with other healthcare providers. They de-identify the data, and here they are explaining how they use the personal data. You can read it on in more details, and they are talking about when would they share their data. So from my end, I don't have any concerns. It looks like it's a HIPAA compliant tool, and they are trying to protect everyone, and they are very honest about what are the things that they share, what are the things that they collect. And remember, if you're a physician, please make sure to tell your patient that you are using an AI Scribe tool before recording them. And now the last thing I want to talk about is the price. I created an account and I got 30 days for free. I'm not sure if they offer 30 days for free for everyone, or is it because I use a promotional code offered on Physician's Side Gig Facebook group. So after 30 days, it's going to be $99 per month. In my opinion, this is well priced, like it's not very expensive. And this is the price where many AI tools are selling their software. It's a subscription model. It's around $80 to $99 per month. And of course, there are some cheaper tools, but based on the services they offer, I think it's very reasonable. And the nice thing is you don't need your entire institution to buy Abridge. If this is a tool that you think it's going to help you, you can just go and buy it as a physician on your own. Just please make sure you always tell your patients if you're going to use Abridge to get their permission first. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit the subscribe and the like button. That really helps me. If there are any AI Scribe tools or any other tools you want me to review, please leave them in the comments. In the future, I plan to review tools that help physicians and patients and tools that make a difference or a delta in healthcare. I will see you in the next video. Stay tuned.